Hello everybody and welcome to a video where I severely question my life choices because I'm starting to feel pretty sick, like not good at all, and instead of resting or relaxing or working on the movie, which starts shooting very soon, instead I'm going to be making a video talking about Oscar predictions. I'm doing it for you guys. But I apologize in advance if this video or the following video, the following couple of videos before we get up to Best Picture, because there's not a lot left. But I apologize if these last couple of videos are shorter and more concise than the usual ones are. But yeah, I just want to get these videos out of the way so I can focus on other stuff like getting better and also making a movie. With that being said, let's talk about Best Film Editing. This is one of the tougher categories of the night, which is why I waited so long to talk about it. It's not the toughest, we'll get to that one tomorrow, but this category is pretty tight. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Fifth most likely to win is Green Book. So, I honestly don't really know what happened in this category. I don't know why so many movies were snubbed, but Green Book, there's nothing inherently wrong with the editing in this movie, but it's the most subtle editing of all five, which is great, it just tends not to win Oscars. And the fact that this movie got nominated seems to be more of an indicator of how well the movie is liked as a Best Picture nominee and as a Best Picture contender. It did win PGA. The movie won PGA, and the editing. The reason this is nominated is to prove that this has a good chance in Best Picture. That was the gist behind it. And side note, I'm just going to get this out of the way now. I don't know why Roma missed out on an editing nomination, considering it got nominated for literally everything else. But I feel like maybe the idea was because there are so many long takes in the movie, and because it is very much a slow burn, maybe they just didn't see the editing as being worth nominating. But I don't know, it's weird, and I don't think it's going to pose too much of a threat to it winning picture. Because editing and picture used to be very correlated, but now there's so much, they're not really as correlated as they once were. And much like the movie itself, I feel like this nomination for editing for Green Book is a relic of the past. And it's not bad editing by any means, but I just can't imagine this winning the Oscar. Fourth most likely to win is The Favorite. So, this movie's editing does call attention to itself a little bit more, but not as much. It's a film that clearly is very loved. It has 10 nominations, and it's probably going to win at least one, probably costume design. But I don't know. I can't shake the feeling that I just don't feel like the movie is as big a contender as people think it is. I mean, granted, 10 nominations seems like a big deal, but it hasn't really won anything major. I mean, in terms of this movie being a Best Picture contender. If the movie were a bigger Best Picture contender, then it would do better in editing. But it lost the Golden Globe for musical comedy, and it lost BAFTA. And this movie won so much stuff at BAFTA, so the fact that it didn't win Best Picture at BAFTA means it doesn't have any real shot to win Best Picture at the Oscars. And it feels weird that I keep talking about these movies' Best Picture chances, but Best Picture and Best Editing are surprisingly correlated. Or are they? Like, I don't know. The times are changing and it's hard to get a grasp on, but I don't know. I don't think the editing in the film is especially flashy. It's flashy enough to get nominated, to get noticed, but not to win. I don't think it has a legitimate chance to win. Usually they like to go with the movie that either has the best chance of winning Best Picture or has the flashiest editing, and seeing how the top Best Picture contender is not in this category, we have to go with the latter, what has the flashiest editing, and The Favorite does not have the flashiest editing. Third most likely to win is BlacKkKlansman. Okay, watch out for this. The movie is very, very well liked, and I do think it could legitimately pose a threat in Best Picture. It hasn't won a ton of Guild Awards, mind you, but if it's going to pose a shocking upset for Best Picture, then look for it to show up here. Look for it to show up and win editing out of nowhere. But even if BlacKkKlansman doesn't win Best Picture, I could still see it pull off an editing win as a makeup award because they have to give it something. It's probably going to win screenplay anyway, but Spike Lee has made it very clear in the past when he says, he says, hey, all these people that are working with me on BlacKkKlansman have worked with me on many films, and we've never really gotten this type of awards recognition before. So if you're going to vote for me, make sure you vote for them. And he's being very humble and very generous about that. So the editors of this movie will get votes. I don't know if it'll be enough to win, but look out for it as a spoiler. This could definitely happen. Second most likely to win is Bohemian Rhapsody. So this won ACE, and I feel like that gives it a really good shot. It is, from what I've seen, flashy editing that does call attention to itself, and sometimes that's all you need. But a lot of people have complained about the movie in general in several places. So I don't really know if it has enough support to pull off a win in this category, especially since it's probably already going to win in both actor and sound mixing. Like, it's going to win, surprisingly, more than one Oscar, and people are upset about that. Sorry. But it's not impossible, and this could very easily happen. The editing is flashy, although some people have said it's too flashy, and it calls too much attention to itself to the point where it's not serving the story anymore. I don't think it's going to actually pull off a win. I think the most likely contender in this category, number one most likely to win, is Vice. So, if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. The editing is very flashy. The editing is very, notice me. The editing calls attention to itself a lot, to the point where some would say it is detrimental to the story, but Vice is a movie that, I don't know, I feel like people are definitely going to notice the editing, and in a category like this, if there's no clear favorite, to excuse the pun, then people might be tempted to vote for this movie just because it had the editing that called attention to itself the most. I don't know how many people would outright say that Vice had the best editing of the year, but then again, I don't know how many people would say it was Bohemian Rhapsody either. I don't think this is a terribly strong field, and I feel that if they had nominated Star is Born, or Black Panther, or Roma, then things would be different. Or even First Man could have been a good nominee here. This category is just not very well put together. But I think in this field, Vice seems to be the best bet. And it won BAFTA, so I feel like that gives it an edge over the competition. I mean, it's a very American movie, and when an American movie wins BAFTA, that's a good sign. So, I'm sticking with Vice, and I don't have a whole lot more to say. I need to rest. Tune in tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about Best Original Score, which is the toughest category of the night, and as of right now, I am not 100% sure what I'm going to pick. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.